Hi, this is Andy Collin and Chris Pomeroy with Growing Up Aspen, a Joiner's Table podcast with a student we went to school with, Stacey Kalkowski, who had a trip through Hollywood and is now a professor at one of UAE's oldest college universities. Let's shift the subject back to the Aspen thing, and one of the questions that we ask everybody, and of course the Merles had, Mike had a lot to say, but the importance of outdoor ed and how much that affected you, because it keeps coming up. All the new people that keep coming in, oh, what are we paying for this for? Get kids to go out and go camping. What's that do? I think it's important for all of us to talk about what it meant to us. You know, I mean, we did 7th grade and then in high school. So what, can you speak on that?
Yeah, sure. I think our first one was in 4th grade, right?
Yeah.
We had a 4th grade trip to Arches, I believe. And that was fun. I remember we painted the bus on the outside, finger painting it and everything with all these things out. And the parents came. I think it was like a big bonding trip, honestly. Like you're forced to be in a space with kids that you may not usually get along with or whatever, you know. Same for like, what was it? The survival training. Yeah, the outdoor ed. What was the survival training one? Is that the outdoor? Huh?
Was it the one
where you had to go? You had to do a solo, and you had to
ropes course.
Outward Bound, yeah.
Yeah, Outward Bound.
Outward Bound, yeah, that one. That was really an interesting time. But I loved rappelling. I remember that was so fun.
That was fun. I think you might have been on the same group with me, Stacey, on that one. Was Robin Appleton in that group with you too?
You know, I don't know. You know, I'm one of these people that I'm not like how do I explain it? I'm not like a person that's nostalgic, you know, so right. I don't really often, I tend to compartmentalize my life in segments, and I don't often like think back to that. So this is really interesting. I'm not sure who was on that one.
Yeah.
On 4th grade one, I remember more. I think it was like, maybe Amy and Dana. I guess it was the Clappers. Whoever was in the Clappers.
Clappers Killers, yeah.
So it was Joey and Jim Winnegal and people like that, yeah.
So what high school trips did you do for the Spree Week?
Ooh, I did the Colorado River rafting.
Yeah.
And I did snowshoeing in the Tetons.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, we did 2, right?
Well, I think we did one each year.
I think it was 4. I think there was one each year, wasn't it?
Each year. I know I did. I did the Arizona bike trip twice because I liked it so much.
What were the other choices? I can't remember. I know those two.
There was a mountaineering one, and there was
a few crazy ones. Like I did Jamaica was one year. They didn't do that after the first year, but they did Mexico. I think they had a trip.
Yeah. Oh no, I never got to go on any of those. They were like, you know.
But most of them were camping and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah,
that's the ones I went on, I'm sure. Yeah, because I remember specifically those 2, because those really stuck out to me. Snowshoeing in the Tetons was a bit crazy. Tom Alpern was on that one with me.
Yeah.
And who else? I can't remember who else was on that, but you know, we had to camp, you know, out in the snow, and that I just remember that sucked because you know you're freezing.
Yeah.
And it was like you hiked all day, right, in your sorels attached to these snowshoes, which was good exercise. I mean, now I probably could use it, but and then you camped and you had to leave your shoes outside, but they were frozen solid in the morning from all the sweat that you were sweating in them to get there.
Yeah.
And you had to stick your feet back in, and I just remember going, oh God. By the time we got to the lodge, like on the 3rd day, I was like, oh. But it was gorgeous, you know, it was gorgeous.
Well, and it also is a little bit of that facing nature and dealing with the real world environment stuff. And
oh yeah,
you know,
well, we all learned a bunch of survival techniques, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, if it wasn't for those courses, and I think in 4th grade too, we did a whole you know, Mr. Clapper did a whole thing on how to survive if your car, like for example, got stuck in a snowstorm. You were trapped in your car. Like, what do you do to not die from hypothermia? I thought that was it sticks with me. Yeah, for sure.
thanks for listening. The authors of Growing Up Aspen would like to thank you and would like to also thank the Aspen Times and the Aspen Daily News for giving us materials for our book, Growing Up Aspen, Adventures of the Unsupervised, which you can get at twistandturnpress.com and any local bookstore. Thanks.